This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Tuesday, October 5th, 2021, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
Derek, you're about to go off and make a new album.
Yeah, I'm working on a little, you know what I'm saying, a little something. We about to go to the beach, get some vibes.
You rented a beach house. They're going to go record at the beach.
We got somebody coming in doing chefing up. So we're going to have 2 or 3 studio desks and just multiple people working just around the clock. And I'm going to just be bouncing from studio room to studio room. So
I like that.
Derek, I have some questions because I've always thought it's really cool when an artist goes on location and record an album. Do you come in with like a bunch of material, or are you like, hey, this whole process has to happen here to kind of give it like a singular feel and a singular vibe? Like, how does that actually work on the creative process wise?
So personally with me, I don't go into any studio session with anything pre-recorded. Just anytime I go into a studio session, like it's all off the cuff. Like right there, we make it fresh. Like I like to think of myself as a hibachi chef. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make the food right in front of you, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do a little train. We're gonna do all that, baby. So, you know, that's how I like to do it.
Yeah.
You
know? So what's the goal for the trip? How many tracks do you want to come out with?
Well, so the project that I'm working on is primarily done. So now, but I got stuck. And I was like, yo, I need big records. So I just went and got all the homies that I know that make the kind of music that I like. And I'm just going to throw them in there and say, yo, let's not leave until we have 4 bangers. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the goal. So, and then really it's that, but then also, you know, I made a promise to myself, like the last couple years, I said, I've worked hard enough in the sense of with music. Like I suffered, you know, doing the van tours and all of that. So like I really wanted to just kind of reward the homies that's been there the whole time. So we just like, this is kind of like a vacation, but also at the same time, it's like, it's a workcation, you know, we getting work done, but
those are my favorite.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
The other day I was shopping at the grocery store and I was on the chips aisle and I came across Rap Snacks and the Migos and Cardi B were in stock. I took a picture of it and I said, hey, Derek, what would your rap snack flavor be? And he was like, well, I really like the Cardi B, you know, the Migos sour cream and ranch is pretty good and stuff. I'm like, I know, but what would yours be? And he goes like, oh, I forget that I'm a rapper. That's what he told me. He thought I was just asking for his advice on which one to buy. And I was like, no, I was just making a joke. Like the Derek Miner rap snacks, what flavor would it be? And he was like, oh, I forgot I'm a rapper.
I forget all the time. I ain't gonna lie.
I think it's pretty clear yours would be hibachi flavored. And why has no one made hibachi potato chips? If I was walking and saw like hibachi potato chips.
What is hibachi to you? The hibachi is a cooking grill. What is a hibachi flavor?
Yum sauce.
Yeah, exactly. It tastes like the, you know, when you go to like the Japanese steakhouse, that sort of just aftertaste you have for about 4 hours. It's that in Dorito form. Pretty cool.
That's the Notorious B.I.G. is honey jalapeno.
That's the legendary one. Those are the one. That's the one. That is the one.
Migos has not only chips, but they have popcorn. Their popcorn is white cheddar with a dab of ranch.
That's where the dab came from.
Romeo Miller is barbecue and honey.
These are like
boozy.
chips in the chip aisle?
Yeah, but you got to go to a gas station that you probably not going to go to, Jamie. It's going to be
I'll go to those gas stations.
It's going to be a little sketch.
I love the sketch.
It's going to have a bulletproof window for the cashier. So you probably not going to go in that one.
I used to live in the area with bulletproof windows. You guys, I bought Old Navy. You can buy a little Notorious B.I.G. shirt from them. It was like $12 or whatever. I wore it, and a lady sent me a message on Instagram. She said, "I thought you were a Christian."
I get that all the time. Don't worry about it.
Just be like, I'm a value shopper.
Yeah. I like hibachi flavors, so lay off, lady. Okay. You know that
Weren't his
aftertaste?
lyrics really bad? I thought you were a Christian. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Pastor Derwin Gray joins us, and we have slices. And at the end of the show, we have a game. No more British phrases.
Good.
We have a game that has to do with college football. So we thought you guys, it's fall.
That's dope.
Jamie, you should have come back and said, "Oh, I didn't even know he's a musician. I just really liked his honey barbecue or his honey
That's
jalapeno."
exactly right.
Honey jalapeno.
So you tell me what's unchristian about honey jalapeno, okay?
There you go.
He's playing God. He is playing God. Those are not two flavors that mix in nature. Clearly, he's in the wrong.
Oh, man. You can buy them online. Look at that.
Man,
You can
Rap
buy 'em on
Snacks
Amazon.
is fire. Look, them chips, I'm telling y'all, listen, and I'm not getting paid for this. This is just because I love y'all. Look, them
Rap
Biggie
Snacks.
Honey Jalapeno go crazy. Like, I'm trying to tell you, they came out for the king. You know what I'm saying? They came out for him. They did it.
I could get, now these are
Made me
not
hungry.
cheap, you guys.
No.
I can get a pack of 5 right now off Amazon. Oh, it's a variety pack. So I really get 15 for $22.
Hey, that's a steal. That's
Cardi
a steal.
B's flavor is jerk barbecue. So Derek Minor would be hibachi. He'd be yum yum sauce. I thought you'd be like Nashville heat.
Mine would be Nashville hot with barbecue sauce. That would be mine. It'd be Nashville hot for sure.
Yep. All right, let's stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
Memo from the SW3. I've been feeling sick since my sweet 16. Shining colors always seem to make me crease. I'm rocking with that DAC heat from DAC heat. Said I'm feeling myself. You know that I got tunes under my belt. Voulez-vous à quelle? Don't send me a bell. I'm rocking with that DAC heat from DAC heat. And when the sun don't shine on the
You're listening to Oscar Welsh. The song is SW3. Well, today's show is brought to you by Baylor University. At Baylor's Truett Seminary, kingdom-minded men and women are equipped to follow their callings. Truett is accessible with campuses in Waco, Houston, and San Antonio, along with online classes as well. Truett also provides generous scholarships, awarding over $5 million to students each year. Baylor's Truett Seminary is for the church in Texas and beyond. Learn more at baylor.edu/Truett. That's TRUETT. Baylor.edu/Truett. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
All right, what do you have, Jesse?
Well, guys, there's a lot of things to worry about in the world. Okay. I always find myself lying awake at night, worrying about, not just things that are going on in life, but I'm talking about the big existential threats, global warming. We got meteors zipping around that sometimes we don't even see. We got to worry about AI, everyone's worried about AI. And at least I slept a little bit better last night because some of my fears about artificial intelligence and its imminent takeover of humanity, that's been a fear that's been instilled in us with sci-fi movie after sci-fi movie, felt a little bit better last night because I did a deep dive on the new Amazon product called Astro, which is, did you guys see the big debut of the new Amazon deal, Astro?
No.
The robot that follows you around the house.
That's right.
Like Astro, like Houston Astros?
Or like the Jetsons dog. Though they claim,
Yes.
even though this looks remarkably similar to a robotic dog, they're like, oh, well, it's not named after the Jetsons dog. We just like the name. So that makes sense. But, Amazon...
Alexa, Astro, it kind of goes...
Yeah,
I like the
but it is
alliteration.
weird that it's a very famous cartoon robot dog that they've named theirs
Future,
after. But,
too, yeah.
Yeah. But either way, so this new product, which they'll be selling for $1,000, is essentially an iPad with wheels. And it is, just imagine like a little Wall-E looking kind of robot. The idea is that this robot will kind of drive around your house and kind of be sort of like a mobile Alexa. Now you might ask, well, what else can it do? I mean, it does cost $1,000 after all. Well, great question. They released a demo video showing it doing a variety of things, like scaring away a raccoon one time, or riding around the house, or dancing with you, or listen to this, it can charge. That's part of the video. Like it's
Like charge its battery?
Like just sits on a charger. Like, well, thanks for showing that. What great functionality. And you know, so they're trying to position it as a device that can offer your home some security measures. It also has some pretty creepy technology you could see Amazon collecting data about your home and the people entering it, because it does have facial recognition software that if you and your family are hanging out and one of the family members talking, it'll recognize their voice or their face and know the appropriate way to respond. But if you have a stranger in your house, like let's say you have a buddy come over to visit, it's just going to follow that person around the house because it doesn't recognize them until you kind of sync them up. It can also theoretically...
Like another dog.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure your actual dog will love this. It can, theoretically, it can offer some sort of like security solution, I guess, because it patrols your home. Though, if I'm a burglar and I'm breaking into your home and little Astro rolls up, I'm pretty sure I can just throw a blanket on him, or one swift kick seems like it would do a pretty
it's
adequate job.
It's a $1,000 thing to just easily steal. You can just you walk right in and grab it.
I stole an Astro. I broke into this house to steal a cheap TV. They got an Astro. I can resell.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, look at that.
That's how I had a cup holder on it. Like you can have like.
Oh, I'm glad you said
have
that,
to-
Cameron. It doesn't have hands. And so there's a point in the video where a couple, the video, which you guys should all watch it because it's hilarious, unintentionally. The video opens with this couple, and the husband is kind of nervously but also proud, like looking at the Astro he's purchased, evidently without the permission of his wife, who is very skeptical of him spending $1,000 on Astro. Okay, so the end of the commercial cuts back to the couple, and the wife is sitting on the couch, and she doesn't look all that pleased still about the husband dropping $1,000 on an inferior iPad that has two giant wheels on it. And anyway, so the Astro drives through the house. We are now taking the perspective from right behind Astro, like in a car movie, as it's navigating its way through the house with a beer bottle and a cup holder on it. Okay, and it drives to the couch where the wife is sitting, stewing about her husband wasting $1,000 on this. It drives up to her with like a Heineken, and she like picks it up, cracks it open. Okay, and this is like an upper, she's like, okay, I guess I'm sold now. And it's like, that's all it took. Like, I could toss you that beer from the kitchen. Someone had to load it on that cup holder. It does not have hands. Like that seems like the most inconvenient way to deliver a beverage from one side of the house to the other. Like that it makes no sense. And since it's been its debut, Motherboard, which is a tech site run by the good folks at Vice, they've actually done a little bit of investigation and not only look at how there are serious privacy concerns with this device because of how it will store data about your home and the people in it, but several engineers that worked on the project anonymously gave Vice some pretty concerning quotes about the quality. One said, Astro is terrible and will almost certainly throw itself down a flight of stairs if presented the opportunity. This is the one who worked on it. This is from another engineer. It is at best absurdist nonsense in marketing. At worst, potentially dangerous for anyone who actually rely on it for accessibility purposes. Like, hey, don't worry. Grandma's fine. We got her an Astro. Okay? Just don't worry.
Oh, man.
All right?
She'll be okay.
She'll be okay. She's got an Astro. So it is like that. I think Amazon's just either AI is just not a big deal and we don't got to worry about it because this is the threat that it poses, or Amazon has so much money and so few ideas that they're just churning stuff out like this. Like I don't know what their anticipation is, but I don't know what the market is for this. It's kind of a baffling device. But
I mean, I'm not going to even lie. This looks like one of those things you see in the back of an airplane magazine. You know, the airplane magazine.
Sky Mall.
Yeah.
Sky Mall. This
Sky
is
Mall.
definitely very Sky Mall-y.
Can you imagine you're just
Little
laying
Sky
in bed,
Molly.
middle of the night, and you just hear it roll up, and it's just watching
No.
you?
That freaked me out.
Yeah. Well, how about this? It's Christmas morning. And you're like, your family's like, hey, we got you something big this year. We got you a big present. Why don't you open it up? And you're like, Oh, great. It's an Astro. What am I, I guess, can someone meet it in the kitchen to get me a drink? Like,
Meet it in the kitchen. Oh my god!
I like tech, but yeah, this one's kind of pointless. We have a robot here. I have it here in my house. Jesse worked remotely for years, and I found this robot online that is about 3 feet tall, and an iPad would be the head of it. And Jesse would be the face on the iPad screen, and he could remotely control it from Virginia. And he would just drive this robot around the office and like come up to people, talk to them, give tours to fans who came into the podcast
like the original
studio.
Astro.
Except it was Jesse. At least Jesse was part of the equation, not just some weird robot device.
It had one critical design flaw, and that is it appeared to have a governor on it, because I would have to start making my way into the meeting about 15 minutes before.
It rolled pretty slow.
And I would roll by people's. I would roll very slowly by people's desks, looking at them, going, "Can you pick me up? Can you pick me up? Just carry me back. Somebody pick me up, because it's my battery's low here. I could be stranded again. Yeah, they're gonna start without me."
Yeah. So we do have a robot, a Jesse robot. It's in my garage right now. We haven't used it in a little while. All right. What do you have, Jamie?
All right. Well, Kenneth Copeland is
That's
taking
my
a really
guy.
bold.
He's the funniest guy on the
On
world.
Friday's podcast, we brought Baptist news. Today, we're on the other end of the spectrum, bringing Kenneth Copeland news.
Let's see what Big Money Kenny talking about now, baby.
All right. Big Money Kenny is advising ministries who are have travel around. They're doing their ministries. They're traveling evangelists. He's advising them to find other ways to travel to avoid airline vaccine mandates, which he relates to the mark of the beast. So he was on a Victory-thon fundraiser, and he said, you get into this situation, we're not going to let you fly unless you're vaccinated. And then he said, well, to me, that's the mark of the beast. And so he was asking people to donate so that he would be able to travel on a private jet. Which, funny thing is,
third private jet.
I was going to say, in 2019, it was reported that he already has 2 private jets, and
come on, Big Money Kenny.
Maybe an airport even? I don't know. So that's what he's saying this year, is that he's asking people to donate so he can get another private jet so he can continue to travel. And he's also advising all of us people who might travel
to get private
to
jets.
do ministry.
Go and get you a private
to
jet.
get a private jet.
I'm about to I told y'all, this jet season. I'm finna get me one.
I love that Copeland and those cats just stop even trying anymore. Like on that same telethon, they had like Jesse Duplantis on there.
Did you see that?
Did you hear what he said?
He literally said. He was like, the reason Jesus hasn't come back, the reason the second coming, because people aren't giving enough to Jesse Duplantis Ministries. I know God the Father's up there. He's like, soon as the donations start pouring them, he's like, all right, Jesus, go get them. But he's waiting on the donations. It's like they literally stopped trying to not be heretical. They just don't care
I
anymore.
cannot even believe it.
I did. It was the funniest thing I ever seen. It's like sad. It's like sad funny though. It's not like it was like a dang. Yeah, like for real.
I'm like legitimately sad for the people who are in their house watching that, thinking, well, it's me. I'm not giving enough. I need to give more so that Jesus can do what he needs to do. And then they're living in guilt and shame for not being able to give their, 30% of their paycheck instead of 10% to this ministry.
And ministry is in very loose quotes, because the clips I saw didn't contain much actual ministry other than them bragging about their wealth in one breath and then deciding that their wealth wasn't enough in the next. Like, it was so weird. It was like, hey, listen, we're going to brag about how many millions of dollars God has given us, and then we're going to tell you why you aren't giving enough. It's like, you humans are insane. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. There's a catastrophe on the border. There is, a whole region of the world has been plunged into instability, and the need for humanitarian aid and services from ministries is among the highest in our lifetime, thanks to a variety of factors. And we're sitting here watching, a bunch of criminals, conducting organized crime openly under the guise of ministry. Those guys, listen.
Well, you just called them criminals?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's a crime.
What crime?
I mean,
lying,
Organize.
yeah,
lying. That's crime number one. Lying.
It sure seems like
That's a sin.
yeah.
That's a lie. Lying.
Okay,
Is,
how about
You
this?
can't go to jail for lying.
How about a moral? How about
Perjury?
moral crimes? I'll say that. It may, but at the same time, they're
Like the
operating.
Baptist moral crimes?
no, those are actual like crime
That
crimes.
is
Yeah, those are that's
Them
assault.
crimes. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
those
but I mean,
crimes.
I mean, but look, it's not all that surprising when one of them, gets, it's not like they had those televangelists have a sterling reputation for not committing financial fraud. Like, I'm not like it wouldn't be surprising if they are committing crimes. But the whole point is this: like, they're openly heretical, and to the point
I'll give you
where.
that.
It's not even what they're preaching doesn't even no longer resembles Christianity. Like it no longer resembles the message of Christ. And it's like, what are they even trying to accomplish anymore?
They
other
trying
than
to get
enriching
money.
themselves?
You know what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to get paid.
that third plane. He needs a bigger third one. All right, what do you have, Derek? What crime are you going to report on?
There's a clown shortage
Uh-oh.
in Northern Ireland.
Clown shortage.
So I mean, obviously, if they want to recruit, they
Can
can
we
just
send
come
our
over here.
televangelists over there? They're
Yeah,
clowns.
like, hey, come
we got
over
too
here.
many clowns.
We got plenty of clowns to send over there.
We got a
We got
surplus right
clowns,
now. Yeah.
but according to David Duffy, co-owner of Duffy Circus, who is appealing for people from Northern Ireland to become clowns, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused a shortage of performers. And as many return home from their countries when the first lockdown came into force in 2020, according to Mr. Duffy. But it's like, what makes a good clown? Someone who's willing to make themselves vulnerable. So like right now, people just, they don't feel like putting the face paint on and all that, man. They're like, look, man, I'm going through it. I need a clown to entertain me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I suggest you just come over here and cut on some good old American TV and you can get all the clowns you want. You know what I'm saying?
It's Christian TV is full
You
of
get all the clowns you want.
Oh my God.
We've seen a spike in
I'm
clowns. It's
telling
crazy.
you.
I think,
Oh
But yeah.
man,
supply chain.
I can't believe you said they're committing crimes like an organized crime, like the
But
mob.
come on, man, you can't tell me that. And I shouldn't say this, but you can't tell me some of them jokers don't look like a villain origin story in Batman. Like, just come on, keep it real now. That's one thing that we haven't seen in a comic book yet is we need a preacher villain. Like it's like some of these guys for real to me seem like villains. Now, here's what I am going to say. I don't know these dudes. They could be misguided. They could be a plethora of things. But I could tell you this. You can't sit up here and tell me Jesus ain't came back because we ain't paid the bill yet. Nah, I'm
Right.
just not going to sit up here and
Yeah,
listen
where's
to
that in the
that. That's
Bible?
just crazy. You just not going to get me on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, maybe those guys aren't actively committing crimes, but I mean, they don't seem too hesitant to have cohorts that they're, Jim Baker committed a bunch of financial crimes, and he's still out there, selling vats of survival gruel. You know what I mean? Like on Christian TV for some reason.
That man Peter Popoff went to jail. He went to straight. He
Yeah.
went to
That's
jail.
what I'm
He's still
saying.
out here
For-
flexing.
Oftentimes they're
ministry.
preying on the vulnerable as well. I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
I would guess, and this is totally just me assuming, but I would guess that that most of their donations come from like middle class or even way less than that because they're preying off the vulnerable and they're offering them like, if you give to us, then you're going to receive all these blessings. And that's not Christ-like for sure.
It's actually the opposite of Christ-like. Like it's the other way.
I just want to note too that this is 2 weeks in a row that Jesse has come out and brought light to
zesty.
organized crime.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jesse.
MLMs, I really do feel like are a lot of them walk the line of fraud.
I think we have a segment here, Cameron. Jesse finds the
Yeah,
criminals.
Just play the SVU gavel thing.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, law and order.
little spicy little slices segment there. See, Derek tried to lighten it up with the clowns, and then we're back to televangelists again. All right, stay tuned. Up next, Derwin Gray joins us.
Takes my hand, says we're better off dead. She knows what she
listening to Television Blonde. The song is Daisy. Well, today's show is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Is something preventing you from being happy or achieving your goals or keeping you from experiencing peace? With the heaviness of all that's happening in our world, it can be difficult to find purpose and joy sometimes. And that is why there's BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy. They will assess your needs and match you with your very own licensed professional therapist. You connect in a safe and private online environment. You can start communicating in under 24 hours and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions and message your counselor anytime. To top it all off, BetterHelp is more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. As a Relevant Podcast listener, we want you to get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/relevant. You can join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/relevant to save 10% off your first month. Well, Derwin Gray joins us today. He's a former NFL player turned pastor and founder of Transformation Church in South Carolina. In addition to his role as a pastor, he speaks at conferences around the U.S., sharing his story of God's faithfulness. He's also the author of several books, including The Good Life, Building a Multi-Ethnic Church, and his newest book, God, Do You Hear Me?, which came out last week. We sat down with him to discuss the purpose of prayer and how Christians can use prayer to become a reflection of Jesus in the world. Here is Tyler Huckabee's conversation with Derwin Gray.
I don't always do this, but I am curious in this case because you write a lot. Why this book? At what point did you feel like this is the subject that I want to tackle for this time, for this writing?
I wrote God, Do You Hear Me? Discovering the prayer that God always answers. Because number one, I have a passion for Jesus and his kingdom. And number two, I have a passion for people to discover Jesus and his kingdom. And prayer is like the front door that opens up and we walk into this beautiful home with all these rooms. And in each room is an attribute of God, the ways of God, the passion of God, and there are gifts in those rooms. And we begin to walk in and we kind of say, okay, this is what I need. This is what I need. But what you find is prayer is so much more than asking for what we need, because Matthew 6:8 says God already knows what we need. And then Jesus says it again in Matthew 6:32, God already knows that we need. So we spend so much time asking God for things, but we don't ask God for God. Prayer is not primarily about getting stuff. Prayer is the stuff of intimacy with a Father that loves us. One of the beautiful things that Jesus did, because in the Old Testament, God has various names that reveal his various actions, right? And so when Moses is being used by God to deliver the children of Israel, God gives him his sacred name, Yahweh, I am that I am. It means a self-existent, eternal, mighty one. And throughout Scripture, we see that God is the Father of Israel and that Israel is called his son. And then when we see Jesus, like Jesus is the eternal Son of God in human flesh. And he says, for us to call him Father, the Aramaic word that Jesus used was Abba. And the closest that we can get for English is the word Papa. And Papa is a term of endearment. It's a term of intimacy. It's a term of tenderness. Like, we serve a God who has all power and all tenderness. We serve a God who is just and who is gracious. These attributes are not in competition, but they overflow out of God's divine love. God is love. So therefore he is Father. Therefore he is tender. Therefore he is just. Therefore he is holy. And so prayer is God saying, I want you to see me. And I want you to learn from me. I want you to experience my power because you're my image bearer. And so when we deduce prayer to like a mantra or a spiritual ATM or superstition, we're really not praying. We're actually using God, and God doesn't want to be used. God wants to be worshiped, because in our worship, we become who we were created to be, and that's image bearers of Jesus.
Can you're orbiting this topic a little bit, but I wonder if you could delve into it a little bit more. These misconceptions that we get about prayer as a vending machine, a mantra, a magic spell. There's any number of things. Could you maybe unpack a little bit how these things seep into our own personal prayer life, our churches, our culture, and what that's cost us, and how you're trying to correct that in the book?
I think it's important for all of us to understand that we are a localized people. That's a word that philosophers or sociologists will use, that we are localized in a context. So as people in the West, and even in various parts of Europe, they're listening as well, we are what's called children of the Enlightenment. Way long time ago, 1600s, 1700s, 1500s, the Enlightenment took place. What's the Enlightenment? Rene Descartes, a Christian philosopher, was combating atheism, and he came up with a philosophical thought that he thought would prevent atheism, but actually brought in a secular sacred divide. And what he said is, I think, therefore I am. Before Descartes launched that into to the world, it was because there is a God. And if you wasn't a Christian, there were other gods that defined who you were. You didn't define who you were, your higher being. And so as Christians, I am because of the great I am. He's the one that we live and move and have our being. So once the Enlightenment project began to sweep through Europe, sweep through America, it has made us hyper individualized. In other words, instead of when we read the Lord's Prayer, it says our Father, but the way we read it is my Father. Prayer does not change God's mind. Prayer changes us so that we can understand the mind of God. Philippians 2:5, we have the mind of Christ, and the mind of Christ is one of saying, not my will be done, but thy will be done. And so what I've tried to do from over 2 decades of praying for, 20 years of ministry is I want to help people see the prayers we're praying is like splashing in mud puddles compared to what God wants us to do. God doesn't want to be used. He wants to be worshiped. Let me say that again. We're so accustomed to using people that we even want to use God. We pray more for jobs. We pray more for things to go our way. But very rarely do we pray, Father, today will you overwhelm me with your love? That I would see Jesus afresh, so much so that I love him more than anything. And that his love is molding me. And even through the fire of hard things, it's a good thing because you're using it to make me like Christ. And today, I want to bear witness to your kingdom. I want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. I want to serve people today. So often, we pray very self-centric prayers, and this is a God-centric prayer. I have a daughter that's 25, and I got a son that's 21. And when they were younger, they would ask for things that were not in their best interest. And because I love them, I didn't give it to them. Well, the Lord's Prayer is God saying, I'm showing you what's in your best interest. Join me in this prayer. Become who I created you to be.
That was Derwin Gray. You can hear more of that conversation over at relevantmagazine.com. Check it out. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Mystery Mascot. You're listening to Mark E. Bassey. The song is Bowie. Okay, it's time for
Mystery Mascot.
This game is called Mystery Mascot. Okay, I'm going to read you the intro that Tyler wrote. Here we go. The feel of the old pigskin, the sound of the crowd cheering, the thrill of the game. College football is a celebration of tradition. While the two teams battle it out for gridiron glory, it's truly the things that they share that unites them beyond the competition. And one thing every college football team has in common is some sort of insane mascot. Seriously, as a full-grown adult, I will never understand why every college in the country insists on continuing to pay some unlucky student to dress up as something people 200 years ago thought was cool so that he or she can run around the stupidest costume in 100 miles in any direction to do little cartwheels whenever there's a touchdown. Insanity. That was Tyler. Okay, anyway, every team has a mascot, and sometimes there's a gulf between the team name and the mascot on the field. In this game, you will be given the name of a college football team, and you simply have to describe the mascot to the best of your ability. I'm talking the physical thing that's running around the field, okay?
Oh, no.
You'll get 3 points if you describe it perfectly, 2 points if you get close, 1 point if you're in the right ballpark, and no points if you're completely wrong. I'm just going to tell you the school and the mascot, and you have to describe what is on the field at the game. Okay? Got it? All right. First up, Jesse, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Describe their mascot.
The Ohio State Buckeyes, I want to say it's a big red mountain.
No.
Is that
It's not
it?
at all. Not even close.
Oh,
No, the mascot is Brutus, the Buckeye.
Yeah.
And his head
It's a big
is a
white
very
circle,
large
huh?
nut. It's a very large nut. It's brown and tan. The face is tan and brown. And then it's just like a normal human body.
who
With
is
a
nut
baseball
head.
cap on,
who
huh?
is the red mountain? I know there's one. I
The
thought it was.
Hilltoppers. That's
Yes.
the Hilltoppers. That's like
right.
Bowling Green or something like
That's
that.
right. That's right.
All right, Derek, the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs. Describe their mascot.
It's a frog.
I mean, that's true.
And it got horns on it. And it's purple.
Nope.
All right.
It's gray. It's
Okay.
gray, and it is a big frog, and it has like the scaly bumps, and it has like the arms have spikes and stuff like that. But it's a big old gray frog,
Horned frog.
in a football outfit.
So I was right, except for the color.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
you get 2 points. You get 2 points.
2 points there, you feel me?
There you go. All right, Jamie, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Describe their mascot.
Need some holy water.
The Wake Forest Demon Deacons is a regular body outfit, it's a person, and you can see that it's a person, and then they have a head on that is white, and it has demon eyes and demon horns.
Sheesh.
That's
It
what I
is
think it is.
is a white old man with a top hat.
Not even close.
Don't
How you a demon and a deacon though? That's the crazy part.
I was gonna say-
I was guessing.
How about when they're coming up, they're like, "Hey, what would be the scariest mascot? What about an old mean guy in ministry? How about that?"
Yeah, you mean like
That's
Bob? He
terrifying.
always wears that top hat. Yeah. We're gonna make a.
Remember that one elder? Remember that one elder who's just real mean? He's just a real demon. Let's make. I don't want to play that guy. That guy's throwing bows down in the post. Like he's playing cheap and dirty down there. Yeah.
All right, Jesse, you're up. The Nebraska Cornhuskers. Describe their mascot.
A corn husk. Well, I'm assuming it's a giant cob of corn that is mid husk, that is protruding from its husk, but not totally dehusk. He's being prepared to be husked by a husker. Is that correct?
It's a little boy named Lil Red, and he was wearing red overalls, and he has a red
Overalls.
ball
I
cap,
knew
and that's
this.
it. That's
Little
it.
Red, like Dennis the Menace, like a kind of little.
Uh-huh.
Is it so?
But it's just a person on the field with red overalls, right? It's not a suit, is it?
It's just red overalls.
Just a little boy in red overalls is the
I
mascot.
think it's a grown person, though.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. It's not like a comical, whimsical, like Pixar looking mascot suit with red overalls. It's not an actual child in red overalls. It's just a grown man pretending to be a child
Acting like a child.
on the sideline of a football game. Can I just say,
This feels predatory.
it seems a little creepy. It seems a little offsetting for reasons that's like,
I gotta see this.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great idea, guys. You know?
All right, who's next? I'm forgetting. Jamie, are you up?
Derek.
Derek's up.
It's
Okay,
me.
here we go. All right, Derek. The Stanford University Cardinals. What's their mascot?
Stanford University Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a red bird. It's a red bird and it has on the ascot.
On the what?
It is a large, terrifyingly scary tree. It is a tree.
Tree?
Yeah.
It's a tree.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm gonna try and
Hold on.
send
You
this to
lying.
you.
Yeah.
I did look up the Nebraska, and I think it is like a person with a kid's head, like a mascot Pixar looking head on.
Dog, this is ridiculous. I just looked up this tree. This is the scariest thing in the
Can you
world.
imagine
This is the
being at
thing
the
that nightmares are made of.
Can you be at the big, like March Madness mascot hangout, and everyone's just kind of milling around, and they're in their big funny heads
You're
and
the
suits,
tree.
and there's just one guy in overalls, just like a dude with like no shirt on, who's pretending he's a boy, like a little kid, and you're like, oh boy, who invited
Nebraska.
the creepy Cornhusker dudes here? He's acting like he's acting like
Jamie.
he's 7, and he's wearing overalls.
Jamie, the Miami Hurricanes. Describe their mascot.
The Miami Hurricanes.
Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, you
I
gotta know
believe-
this one.
I don't, but I'm going to guess. I believe that it's some kind of costume that is a big wave. That's what I think it is.
You think it's a big wave running around the field?
Like,
no,
a
it's-
hurricane wave.
It's a seagull outfit. It's a big bird.
So they're
wearing-
the birds.
No, they're the
Miami
hurricanes,
birds.
but it's
And
like
hurricane.
they're at the beach, so there's seagulls everywhere. Miami. you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
All right, Jesse, the Evergreen State College Geoducks. Describe.
That's
There.
a lot of words you just threw at me. Evergreen State Geoducks. I think it's probably a grown man who is wearing overalls. And he's got a big lollipop and with just like swirls on it. And he just strolls up and down the sidelines. And that's, why not? Why not? Nebraska's doing it.
Okay, I am texting it to you because I don't know how to describe what I'm looking at. It is, I think, weed in a joint. I don't know what it is. It's a look at your text.
Do you know what a geoduck is?
No.
What is that?
So it's
it looks like a
cla-
pickle
it's
and
like
a taco.
No, it's like a clam, and there's like a little like people eat them. Like I've seen there's like these challenges in I think Korea where they eat these things raw. Like Google a geoduck. Like it's some sort of oyster type creature, and some people eat them like raw.
It looks like they could only afford half the costume. Like the head and like the weird like vest thing it's wearing look pretty good. But then you notice that bare legs are hanging out of basketball shorts down below, and you're like, you couldn't have got this guy pants.
All right, Derek, the Purdue University Boilermakers.
It's a big old crock pot.
No, it's a man wearing a hard hat who carrying around a sledgehammer. It's like it's a
I was
Boilermaker. Like I don't know, working on the I don't know.
I've never. I
Is
don't
Derek
know
the
what
only one with points?
Yes. Jamie, you can change that right now. The Xavier
this.
University Musketeers.
Oh, this is a guy on a horse who is, he has a sword and he's going off to fight.
Again, I'm sending it to y'all. It's a big old blue puff. It looks like a
Oh
Muppet.
my gosh.
I don't know what it is. I don't know how that's
Looks
a
like
musketeer.
a Sesame Street character.
Yeah, it looks like
But
a
at least
snuffle
it's
up against
playful.
type.
At least
It
it's
looks
playful.
like a
It's not
bad acid
unsettling.
trip. Is what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse, the St. Louis University Billikens.
Billikens.
Yes.
I don't even know what a billiken is, and so I can only venture a guess that this is a grown man who's wearing a billiken. I'm gonna say they went off script and just did like a cool like big cuddly looking dog mascot because no one knows what a billiken is.
It is looks like an ice demon. It looks like it's like
Sounds awesome.
I just sent it to y'all. It's like a big ice demon.
Gosh.
I don't know what it is. All right, Derek, the Webster University Gorlocks. What is their mascot?
A Gorlock is a winged creature that sits on top of buildings and turns into stone.
It's a gargoyle.
Yeah, the Gorlocks are the black cousins of gargoyles. It's like the Gorlocks are from the African version of the gargoyle. So
Webster University Gorlocks. It's basically a big orange dog. I just sent it to y'all. All right,
okay.
And
All right.
Here we'll do the last one. Here's the last one, Jamie. The Wichita State Shockers.
Wichita State Shockers.
Yeah.
I think that they are a big green puffy ball of fur. They kind of like the old other mascot we just did.
I think it's they just went for the literal thing of
A lightning bolt?
shocking. Like if you saw this in real life, it would be shocking. It looks like a
Oh my gosh. This is
a
like
gnome-headed scary person.
Oh yeah, that mug is terrifying.
If you saw that in the dark, you'd be
It
shocked.
looks like a bad '90s low budget horror film.
See, but these mascots aren't pumping anybody up. No one's excited when any of them are out there. Okay, if I was at college, the first thing I do if I was like in charge of athletics or the marketing department, be like, look, we're scrapping the whole mascot thing. We're gonna hire a new C-list celebrity every year, and that's gonna be the mascot. How would you like Wayne Knight, the guy who played Newman, to run out on the court before every game? Everyone's like, oh, Newman's out here, guys. It's the Wayne Knights. Like every year, I just switch out for another C-list celebrity who's probably gonna think it's pretty cool. And I'm telling you, what do you think fans are gonna get more excited about?
I think you're onto something.
You know, some random college kid in a goofy dinosaur costume, or somebody played one of the Huxtables on one of the seasons of the Cosby Show. Like, I was wondering how Theo's doing. There he is. Look, he's right here on the sidelines, doing great.
I mean, Texas has Matthew McConaughey as their mascot.
Yeah, we
basically.
do. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
He's not C-list though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That's Matty.
All right,
Matty
so
Ice.
Derek is the winner of
Wow.
Mystery Mascot. Congratulations.
It was a shutout, wasn't
Did I
it?
get a trophy?
Oh, it's impressive.
You just get the satisfaction of knowing that you could describe a horned frog.
We got you a
pretty
pair
accurately.
of red overalls. That it's a mascot costume. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Y'all do know that I was
Everyone
a
will
mascot in high
recognize it.
school.
No way.
We're not.
What was it?
We were the Knights. I'll send y'all a picture later. I'll find one.
That's awesome.
I had a big
Please.
head that I wore, and then this like blue bodysuit with the little shield on the front and back. Yeah.
Can I ask a question, James? When you put that on, okay, when you're all geared up in mascot mode, did you kind of feel your personality change? Like, were you just like, I'm going to just go nuts here because I'm no longer Jamie. I am the knight.
I actually tried out. I was the only one that tried out, so I made it, pretty easily my senior year because I didn't have anything else to do.
So you
And I
didn't
loved-
show any mascot skills. You just were the
No.
only one who signed up.
I was the only one that signed up for tryouts that day, so I automatically got it. And then I loved it because I just got to be on the field and I could watch football easier. And I always got in trouble by the cheer coach. She's like, "Jamie, you're supposed to be doing these cheers," and I'm like, "I'm not a cheerleader. I'm just the mascot, and I want to watch this game. It's 4th and 1. What are we gonna do?" And so that's why I liked it so much.
I like it.
That's-
Well, there you
yeah.
go. Well, before we wrap it up, I want to thank Derwin Gray for joining us today. You can hear more from him over at relevantmagazine.com, and also make sure to check out his new book, God, Do You Hear Me? It just came out. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out the new issue of Relevant Magazine. We have incredible conversations with the likes of Erwin McManus, Natalie Bergman, Julia Newbell, Jessica Chastain, Jennifer Hudson, so many others. It's available for free free and ad-free thanks to UHSM. Go check it out. Just click on the magazine tab right there at the site. Also, make sure to follow Relevant on all the socials. We're on Facebook and Twitter, posting every day. We're on Instagram, posting occasionally. And it's a great way to stay in the loop of what's going on and also answer the question of the week and other podcast things. Oh, follow us on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, too. We have a specific podcast account there. Check it out. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Miner.
All right, we will see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I like hibachi flavors, so lay off, lady.
Relevant Podcast Network.